Good morning, folks. You're tuned into Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, the tools are ready, and the talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here it's not just about fixing cars, it's about keeping you rolling, saving you money, giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood, from the classics to the commuters, the weird noises, and to the what the heck moments. We've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Car Connection, your Monday through Saturday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, a few good laughs. And I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins. We're shifting it into drive this morning. Well, getting back into the groovy, baby. It is Tuesday, episode 131, season 2. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. Thank you for inviting us into your world. If you're sliding through the drive-thru, picking up your favorite morning beverage and perhaps a snack. Yeah, it's a drive, right? Yeah, you might as well have a snack. Have your favorite beverage and a snack, but double check your order. You know, people are just getting back into gear this morning after a long weekend. Hope you had a fabulous long weekend. Weather wasn't stupendous, but we weren't snow blowing, and we put the winter shovels away. So let's focus on moving forward. That's what's important. What are we going to be talking about this morning? The spring inspection really counts. Being in the know will prevent chaos and stress. And I have a couple of stories to share myself, because we are working on our fleet vehicle maintenance, making sure everything is top drawer heading into the summer. Can't be scrambling to take care of things last minute, because that's when things get hairy, extremely hairy, crazy, stupid, and completely off the wall, if you can relate to that. Yeah, so I much rather be in the know and get on top of things ahead of time. So there may be some things that are going to take some time to get it taken care of, and there may be some stuff you go, well, how the heck did that happen? And you got to come up with a game plan. How are we going to take care of all this stuff and get it all done in time before the heat switch gets turned on? Because we're heading for the middle of April. What does that mean? We're going to talk about that too in just a few minutes. Car Connection Workshop is brought to you by Crystal Ridge Dream Center, serving men, women, children, meals, love, hope, changing lives one at a time in the Niagara region. In times when community support is crucial, Crystal Ridge Dream Center shines as a beacon of compassion and transformation. They have all kinds of programs running there for young adults, seniors, single moms, widows, orphans, and children, and after-school programs. Check in with them online on the homepage of our website. That's where you'll find everything you need to connect and follow us as well, and to meet all our program sponsors. City Auto Sales and Leasing, that's Earl and Louise Grant, husband and wife team, providing you with low mileage, top quality vehicles at fair prices. Their Greater Toronto area's premier pre-owned auto store. They have in-house leasing and financing available to you. They sell no junk there. You can buy with confidence and be treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity. Looking for something specific? Let Earl and Louise Grant know. They've been in the business 25 plus years. They have the resources and can save you thousands of steps. To a special thank you to our certified financial planning professionals, Tony Mealy, Larry Tetro, my brothers from other mothers, 50 years experience as fiduciaries. These guys have put their feet forward since July of 2007, saying we want to be able to help your listeners, Motormouth, if they have some serious issues, they want to sit down and figure out a game plan, we'll do that for them. So they provide for you what we call our discovery meeting, an hour and a coffee. Leave your wallet and your purse at home. They're not going to be selling you anything. They're going to sit and listen to what your concerns are, whether it's with an investment portfolio that's pulled over and parked with the handbrake on, making you pittance, debt retirement, estate planning. Do you have beneficiaries, health proxies? Do you have all that stuff taken care of? They can help you with that. Mortgages, arranging a mortgage, life insurance, critical illness insurance. They take care of all that stuff for me for the last 20 years. And let me tell you, you cannot put a price tag on peace of mind. If you have questions, don't do an opinion poll. Get the answers from those who have the credentials, certified financial planning professionals. Tony Mealy, Larry Tetro, Connect. Niagara Block, 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls, Building Canada since 1931, providing building supplies and materials, hardscape, landscape materials as well to help you put together that beautiful backyard space that you've always wanted. They also have a list of contractors that they can refer you to that will estimate the job, start the job, and finish the job, and you can enjoy your project when it's completed. And thank you to the entire team in both Darien Center, New York. They're close to Darien Lake. That's what was on my mind there. Sydney, Manitoba, with Rick and Robin, the facilitators, and Pastor John and his lady, Victoria, and their entire team are there for those who are ready to say goodbye to their addiction and mean it. They're ready to take it on. Total Freedom Addiction campuses, one located in Darien Center, New York, and the other one's in Sydney, Manitoba, Canada. A new life waits for you there. But those who are going through addiction, we have to love on them, be patient with them. They're going to blame everyone and anyone that's close to them, but the addiction, it's theirs to own. They have to be able to say, today's the day. Today is the day. And there is help and a new life waiting for them at Total Freedom Addiction campuses. So good morning to everyone. Let's take a look at the weather report for today. I'm hoping the heat comes on very soon. And thinking of past spring times where the temperature seemed to bounce around all over the place, then suddenly you get that first day like 77 degrees, and you're like, oh man, I think I'm dying out here. Yeah, it's hot. Oh, it's hot. It's really hot. I just have one word to say to those folks. And you have to say it fast, and it is one word. Shut up. That's it. We don't have to shovel that. We don't have to dress up like the Michelin Man. What do we got happening today? Well, we have a little bit of the wet stuff posted here, and right at the moment on the south shores of Lake Erie, it's spritzing outside. That's my interpretation. 0.05 of an inch of wet stuff, and it's rain. Okay, take it easy. 26 degrees right now with windy conditions, very windy here. Wind is making it feel colder, about 9 degrees. Cloudy conditions from 1 p.m. till 2 p.m. today, with partly cloudy conditions expected at 2 p.m. Today's temperature range will be from 25 degrees to 36 degrees, and it will feel more like 4 to, here it is, freezing point, 32 degrees F. So you're going to need to dress a little warmer still. But hey, yesterday it wasn't supposed to be nice, and the sun came out early afternoon, and it turned out to be an amazing day. So you never know, when things look bleak, things can change. Yeah, so yesterday was great. Let's have our morning swiggy together, brought to us by the team at Niagara Block, 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls. Building Canada since 1931. Think about that. I wonder if they've had a coffee break. Man, that's a long shift. Wow. Well, here's how we do it. On 3, 2, 1, whatever your favorite morning beverage is, let's have a swiggy together. You ready? If you're joining us for the first time, this is our deal. Jump on board. 3, 2, 1. That's happening. How about a second swiggy? It's Tuesday. It's kind of Monday, Tuesday, right? Monday was a holiday. Today is Tuesday, but it's actually Monday. Yeah, I think it's worth it. On 3, 2, 1, do it. All right, let's get started. Lots to get through. Remember, the biggest toolbox drawer we have is the homepage of our website, carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. That's where you'll find all the logos for our program partners that bring our YouTube channel and our podcast channel here on iHeartRadio. We are on all platforms, so wherever you pull your podcast from, whether it's Spotify, Apple, Amazon, or the like, there's hundreds of them out there. You will find Car Connection Workshop. Just type us in the search bar and you'll be able to find us. All the past episodes on season 1 are loading into our YouTube channel now. I can only turn 10 a day, so every 24 hours, just to keep the algorithms happy. So if you go over to our YouTube channel, all the episodes are there, including this one. Once it loads and it goes live at 8 a.m. this morning, it will be there on our YouTube channel, but it'd be marked private. So if you see any of our previous episodes on our YouTube channel, and that's where you're going to pull it from, and it says private, just be patient, because it can only go in and keep the algorithms happy and not plug up our YouTube channel so that they shut it down until things sort themselves out. I can go in and turn 10 episodes from private to public. So just to let you know, we're on it, and that's something we didn't know, but we know now, and working on making sure that each new broadcast migrates over, it exports over to our YouTube channel and goes public, because I did check that box in our host, our RSS feed, but it's not happening. So I got to look into that today and check that out. So at least going forward, each daily morning podcast exports over to our YouTube channel and also goes live as well. So working on that. So if you notice those quirky things going on, we've already noticed those quirky things right away, and we've been walking through that as well. Well, at some point, I'm looking at the weather and keeping a close eye on it, because around the 15th of April is when my insurance company says we can take our winter tires off, which is good, because we don't want to be in 50 plus degrees Fahrenheit on our winter tires chewing the rubber off, because the rubber is really, really soft. And you can wear down a set of winter tires very, very quickly when the road surface reaches 50 degrees. So just there's 1 point for you. So I'm preparing right now. I've already got one vehicle changed over. The Rocket, we'll talk about that in just a few moments with our topic this morning, which is the spring inspection. What is that? The vehicle inspection really counts. This is where the rubber meets the road. And I say that for a couple of reasons, because there's only two ways of owning an automobile, and that is owning it and not being in the know, or owning it and being in the know. One gives you a lot more stress and chaos, while the other one gives you mental freedom. And so I'm going to use myself and our little miniature fleet of vehicles we keep going, our daily drivers, so that we're in the know, because we don't have time to mess around with not being in the know. When things get busy, summer gets here, our event vehicles come out, they've all got to be inspected and checked over and make sure that everything is as it should be. We can't be fussing and messing with them when the shows and events are happening. The day that they're happening, you cannot be getting your poop together last minute. It does not work. We need to arrive, and we need to be there to support our sponsors and to make awareness for Crystal Ridge Dream Center to people out there that want to get involved and be in the know. They want to do stuff, but they don't know what's going on around them. So our job for 32 years is to come alongside a nonprofit faith-based organization, not funded by any government granting, just by you, me, and local businesses, letting people know who they are, where they are, and what they're doing. And so if it should be pressed upon your heart to do something, let me tell you, they feed almost 300 people out the door, hot meals every Tuesday and every Friday, and it's getting to be really, really expensive on their budget. So they do not want to pull that back whatsoever because the need is there. What could you do? Check them out on our website. Again, all our program partners are there. Click on their logo, meet them, and thank you to all of you who are giving them your business, because that's what counts. That's exactly what counts. We have to give to get, right? That's what life is all about. If it's all about you, then thank you for letting us live on your planet. Much appreciated. But it's not all about you. You know, to whom much is given, much is required. And we need to help. If you see a need, fill a void, make a friend. That's professor speak right there. See a need, fill a void, make a friend. That's how it works. I know we've had some years where, and it still continues, where division seems to be, the division bell has been ringing for a while. It's time for us as people, as fellow Canadians and sojourners and people around the globe, to stop the chaos. See a need, fill a void, make a friend. It's that easy. And forget the chaos. Let's get back to, as Burt Bacharach would say, all this world needs is love, sweet love. And that's time for us to, as people, to recognize that. Forget the division bell ringing by those who are in a position of power. Isn't it interesting how it kind of goes to their head like strong drink? But anyways, let's not go down that rabbit hole. But when it comes to, I say that because I'm seeing it all the time. I get bombarded all the time. Organizations are really, really running tight. I mean, all of us are running tight, amen? But they're running tight, and they need a little bit of help. If we can all do a little bit, even if it's how many $5 could everybody give together and make a difference? That's what I'm talking about. And we're trying to do the same thing with Car Connection, providing the labor, fixing the vehicles for free, getting a video to share with you all, so we can teach you about, you know what, you need to really respect that older car, because the older ones are proving themselves to be a heck more reliable than the stuff that's on the road today. Anything that's 5 years old is a challenge, and there are so many huge problems out there with them. It's disgusting how the consumer is being a consumer. So hopefully I can make a difference to you and teach you how to be a prosumer, not a consumer, by simply learning some basics, the basic fundamentals of automobile ownership and maintenance. That is going to save you bucks. Lots of bucks coming back into your pocket. So the quality versus affordability is gone out the window. And older is better and more reliable. And it is proving itself. Every single vehicle that comes into the shop here, the Car Connection Workshop, older is proving itself to be the asset, not a liability. That's where I'm going with that. This new stuff, I could not imagine being in a position with an F-150 or Silverado and the engine's done on the Silverados. It is such a disease right now. And it's disgusting because people having first engine, 5.3s, 6.2s, they're falling apart, seizing up without any warning whatsoever. And if you're still making a payment and paying insurance, your vehicle's down. And some of these vehicles are down for a second and third time engine. And now Ford's got issues. 70,000 trucks have been parked because of a rear axle issue. The NHTSA, National Highway Traffic Safety Act, has kiboshed that. These aren't going out on the road, so they're parked. Whatever's new on the lot is sitting there. The axles are not going to be available, according to FOMOCO, 6 to 12 months. I don't know. You know what? I look at Mr. Green Jeans, 1967. He's part of our fundraising fleet. We get out there and we put signs all over him and stuff. And let people sit in, have their picture taken and whatnot. 1967, and he's still here and running and reliable. Come on. Seriously. Which technology should be better? Today's automobiles, like the last 5 years, let's go from like 21. Everything I've been watching, hearing, and listening and reading about is like from 2021 and up. Are absolute bags of hammers when it comes to the domestic. So be careful out there what you're buying. Really, 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 really do your homework, okay? And if you want to ask me questions, go ahead, fire away. It's motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. I don't want to see anybody that's within earshot of this program getting stuck like that. There's people all across North America. It's a real disaster right now. So all of you who are driving like Hondas, Toyotas, Nissans, even Kias and Hyundais, you're doing really good with quality versus what the domestics are struggling with. Now, Chrysler's better. Not hearing too many things there. It looks like the Chrysler Hemi Tick is going by the wayside. There are people that have been F-150 Silverado truck owners that are jumping over to Chrysler like crazy. So things are happening. And when you watch those trends, you got to take a look at what's behind it. What's behind it all. So be a prosumer, not a consumer. All our links are provided for you on the homepage of our website so you can connect, like, share, follow, join our online community, subscribe. If you're enjoying the videos, many of you are, do us a favor, make sure you're subscribed because that helps Skippy and I a great deal. We put 80 hours into programming every single week for you folks for free. Help us out, would you? Thank you so much from both of us. We really, really appreciate that our efforts are being appreciated to help you. I'm not here for the car manufacturers. I'm not in this seat for the service shops out there. I'm here for you. That's who I'm here for, to teach you what I've learned in 44 years being on the shop floor, working with my own clients, working behind the scenes in a dealership to find out how that works. That was a rough 4.5 years, let me tell you. I went in as a mole, and they worked me like a freaking dog, and I made the money. That's what the problem was. The problem for me was I'm working for $6.24 an hour, and my cleanup kid at the time, Sparky, he was making like $22.50 an hour, and I'm going, well, what's wrong with this picture? How would you like to do that job? My job there for 35, 40 years. No. Times no divided by no equals no. No. But I did it to learn what goes on behind the scenes in a dealership. And I learned a lot of stuff that I've been sharing. Some of it I've shared with you. Some I will probably never be able to share. And other stuff I can. So help us out. Like, share, follow, subscribe. Your comments matter on our videos. That helps to push us forward a lot. The algorithms like that stuff. We're putting out 3 new videos every single week. So whether you know a little bit about your automobiles or absolutely nothing, you will grab nuggets of information that will save you from being ripped off out there. And I mean, I don't like to use that term, but every email I've received for 32 years says, did I get ripped off? So I might as well put it back to you in your own English. You don't want to be ripped off? Well, I've got a program coming up that I'm going to teach you all the details that you need to be responsible for when you drop your keys off and the service advisor is writing up the repair order. You have to take the helm, and I'm going to tell you why. Because a majority of service writers are lazy sacks of poop. They cut corners. If I took 10 work orders from 10 service desks at random, I can tell you I will find problems with the work orders. And what gives me the right to say that? Well, I put forth warranty work at a dealership for 4.5 years. If a claim did not go through, that was my baby to chase it down and make sure it went through. But first and foremost, all the service techs needed to make sure that all the details were given to the service writers, so we made work orders that were 100% accurate and complete every single time. I went to a class. That's all we did for one whole week, was learned how to make a thorough, detailed, and completed work order. Nothing missed. One item's missed on a warranty claim, and it's denied. If it's denied twice, then that means the third time they're not paying it whatsoever. It could be a $10,000, $15,000 warranty claim. You just lost that money for the dealership. So how important was it for me to make sure that work orders were covered in detail and completed to the letter? Service writers need to learn to get back to that because it protects you, the consumer. So I'm going to teach you what I know about work orders, and that's the first place and the first bone of contention to prevent you from getting ripped off at a service center. You hang them with their own rope, is what my professor would say. So where does it start? It's in the details. It's in the details. Make sure you get to the service desk. You have time to make sure that the work order is filled out completely. And then I'm going to give you some nuggets on that program that will make your head spin. It will protect you. You, not them. You. It will protect you from being ripped off. Okay? So we'll do that in a program. It may be a two-parter because I want you to really learn it, because you have to take control of this. They won't do it. I can tell you that right now. They won't do it. And you cannot have a service advisor like that shortchanges the work order working at a dealership where there's warranty work involved. The work order has to be filled out accurately and completely right to the nut. Nothing, no detail missed whatsoever. Okay, let's move on. That was a bit of a rabbit hole, but I've been getting bombarded with emails. Did I get ripped off? Can you look this over? It's going on, and it all has to do with the economy. People are looking for any way they can lie, cheat, and steal. Let's keep it simple. I've been on this ride before 3 times where the economy has not been good. And older vehicles, and especially right now, gas misers, yep, people will be hunting for them because the big trundle buggies, they're not doing so good on fuel. What does it cost to fill a Dodge Caravan? $230, I'm being told. Jeepers. Are you kidding me? I think it's bad enough $85. I did a little survey, and that's what I'm hearing. $230 to fill a Dodge Caravan right now with fuel, not kids and gear. So thank you to all those who also been shopping in our merchandise store on our homepage. We have an online store put together by Freedom Expressions. Thank you. That's part of Total Freedom Addiction Campuses. Any item you purchase, proceeds head right towards Total Freedom Addiction Campuses, Canada and U.S., to help support those who are ready to take on their addiction and get through it, get round it, under it, past it, and receive a new life. So thank you to all those who are doing that. Means a lot to us, to Skippy and I as well. So let's move on this morning. You ready? Little rabbit hole on the work order, but that's coming up. And that is the number one area that you have to master. You have to. Because like I said, 9 out of 10 service writers, they're lazy. They just want to get your keys, get the car in the shop. But there's more to it than that. The work order has to be complete to protect you, the consumer. All right, what does it mean? The spring inspection really counts. It does. And I'm going to share a couple of short stories, if you can believe that for a minute. It's true. The Toyota FJ Cruiser, the 07, heading for 400,000 kilometers. This will be the third time the alternator bearing is starting to screech a little bit. It's chirping, cheep, 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 cheep. So a lady heard that and she said, "Oh, you just need to put some soap on the serpentine belt. My husband used to do that." I go, "Okay," and I just smiled and we had a nice little chat and I walked away and I go, "No, it's not a soap issue on the serpentine belt thing. It is the rear bearing on the alternator," and this would be the third or fourth one coming up. I have to pull the file today. But what does that mean? That you just ignore it? Oh, no. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Because I have had one of the alternators, and the reason they go on the FJ is it's down low where it gets a lot of road splash. The poor alternator is getting airflow, but it's getting just pounded by road splash. And when I take the alternator out, it looks like it's been in the bottom of the sea with SpongeBob SquarePants for the last 20 years. Just barnacle bill. They look rougher than a stucco toilet seat when I get them out of there. So it's chirping, and that means get it out of there before it locks up, because I had one lock up a few years back. The original alternator lasted to almost 250,000, and I haven't been doing as much driving as I used to. I used to be on the road meeting clients and meetings and whatnot from 6 in the morning till about 6 at night. But I don't do that anymore thanks to electronics. You know, we can do Zoom, we can do conference calls. All that stuff really saves a ton of fuel. But anyways, that chirping noise, that started on Saturday. I used the truck on Saturday, the FJ, and it just started out of the blue. And the last time that happened, I was at the butcher shop, and everything was groovy when I got there, and I shut it off. There were no noises. When I came out, the alternator was like screaming. So how does that happen? It just happens. It's age, and like I said, it's open to road splash. That's why it's so important you're not splashing around in these big poodles that are on the side of the road. Don't go playing with your car into that deep water. Not a good idea. Okay, fellas? It's mostly fellas, because I have Lake Scott at the end of my driveway, even still yet today. And how I didn't get soaked to the gills was because I was far enough back, and a fella comes scooting down. He goes right into that Lake Scott, and it was loud. That was deep. It was about 6 or 8 inches deep on the side of the road at the end of the driveway. And a big wave came up, but it missed me. That was a good thing. And I right away said to myself, "Fella, you have no stinking idea." Yeah, there goes some time off your starter motor, your alternator, and anything down low in your engine bay area just took a power wash. Not a good idea, folks. Not a good idea. You see those puddles, move over or get your foot on the brake and slow down. Power washing your underside of your engine bay with the puddle is not a good idea. Okay? Number 2, it's further. So the FJ now has a rear axle seal that's just starting to leak, and I can smell Axle, I can smell rear end grease there, 80W90. It has a flavor that you'll never forget once you smelt it the first time. It's rougher than a stucco bathtub. But anyhow, yeah, that's another problem. They weren't there at the beginning of winter. This is where I'm going. Those two problems, the alternator and the right rear axle seal, were not problems at the beginning of the winter, but they are now. So which one of those two should I just ignore and allow the chaos and stress to come in when the alternator pulley stops turning and you're a ways from home and the belt is smoking and it's going to screech until it blows itself apart, and now you've got no power steering, no nothing. You're dead in the water. Would that be a better idea to let it go that far? Probably not. Most of you, I would think, would say, that would really suck. Yeah, especially if it happens, the alternator locks up in the drive-thru, and you're like 10 cars back with about 25 behind you. Yeah, that would go over good. Yeah, big time. Okay, next one. The 99 Honda Civic DX hatchback, 5-speed air conditioning, 2-door little beauty. The Rocket, we call it. What do we got going on with that one? Oh, yeah. A number of items. The one that really grabbed me was the right rear wheel was locking up. For some reason, press the brake and the car would kind of dive at the right rear like it was squatting like a dog to have a pee. And that was not good. I'm going, well, there's either a broken shock back there or something else is causing it to lock up. So when I got the wheels all off, taking the summies off and looking at the brakes, everything in the front looks good because I did the whole front last summer. You can watch the videos on that. Replaced power steering rack and pinion bellows on both sides, tie rod ends, and a full brake job. And there was something else. But anyways, it's all on the videos from last year, last summer, and you can watch those. We'll show you what happens. And you're always going to be taught 5 things: what it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks, and what you could have understood a little bit more about basic vehicle ownership maintenance fundamentals that will save you thousands of dollars, not hundreds, thousands of dollars. Because many times a $200 job turns into a $5,000 job because you ignore it. You think it's going to go away? No, it's going to fester. Yeah, like a splinter, like a nasty splinter in your finger or your foot. Yeah, not good. Especially with this pressure-treated lumber. One of those splinters. They're not good. They fester. So on the Rocket, a couple of items there. The right rear brake, somehow the emergency brake cable was left on by somebody. That's all I'm going to say. Going to protect the guilty at this point. And the brake drum was bright blue, like it got hot. And there was lots of stress on the rear shoes back there. The wheel cylinders survived. They were brand new. Both sides. I did rear brakes and wheel cylinders on that car the year before. So somewhere around 2023-ish, 24. But it survived. I cleaned it all off. Readjusted the rear brakes. They were 10 miles out of adjustment. So there's another spring issue that needs to be corrected. And the rear brake's just fine. Everything's fine there. Some cosmetic surgery. You've got a little bit of rusties coming out, breaking out, getting some acne there at the back. That needs to be addressed before it goes too far. Because the car is definitely worth saving. It is gooey. It is so gooey underneath you can't even touch anything without getting gooiness on you. So it's well protected with rust protection. What else did I see on there? Yes, have an oil leak at the distributor. So the O-ring is leaking and oil is oozing down the transmission housing to the underside. So it's kind of got a little bit of automatic under oiling at the moment. So we will get on that. And the temperature gauge in the dash is not always steady Eddie. It's kind of, are we warmed up? I got heat, but the needle's showing it's still cold. So we need a gauge sending unit. So, and that happens to be underneath the distributor where the oil is leaking. So we'll take care of those two items all at the same time. Doing a little bit of cosmetic surgery on the front. I removed the front bumper cover. The sun has kind of baked the clear coat off the bumper on the top of it. So I don't want it to fester and end up burning into the rubber compound on the bumper cover, because then trying to repaint it again, it doesn't work. It always comes back. I've tried it. It always comes back. So the defections in the bumper cover, if it's rippled or if the clear coat and the paint's burnt right off, the only way to fix it is to replace it and have a body shop paint it, or if you're good at body work, paint it yourself. Yeah, clear coat, base coat, clear coat. So I'm taking care of that myself. I just have to water sand the top of the bumper cover. So I took it completely off, and I know how to do that very quickly. And the grill, you know, this black plastic stuff that goes gray. I think I've tried just about every product on the freaking market for that. Oh yeah, our product, brings it back and it looks beautiful black again, and it stays for about 6 months. No, it doesn't. Yeah. So I decided, you know what, to get the grill out, you got to take the bumper cover off. And on this Honda, you have to. You can't get your hand in there to get several screws out. You just cannot get your hand in there. It's not going to happen. If you cut it off and put it in there on a stick, that might work, but then your fingers aren't working. So, yeah, you got to take the cover off. So I just decided, you know what, I've tried every black goo and stuff that says it works, and it doesn't work. And it looks terrible when it turns gray, and it really takes away from the aesthetics of the car. So that stuff bothers me. So I just pulled the whole bumper cover off. I just said, you know what, springtime, let's fix this stuff up. Then the car's back to 100%. So those are the things you want to get after. You don't want them to fester. So your springtime inspection really counts, folks. That puts you in the know and will prevent chaos and stress. And that's what most of us need to get rid of. In fact, I'm going to start riding my bike again this year because I bought it many years ago. I was going through a very, very difficult time in life. 24 and a half year marriage was done overnight. I had no idea it was coming, and it put me into some serious stress. So I bought a bike, and I put 1,000 kilometers on that summer, and I didn't die. Yeah. So my professor said, you need to stress relief. Go buy a bike that you can ride that you like. And that's what I did. It was great. That was great advice. A lot of times I just listen to the wildlife and stuff on the trail, and sometimes I put some music in and go for a long ride. It was great. So and working 80 hours a week in producing videos and YouTube shorts and podcasting and all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes to keep that going can create a lot of stress and pressure. So the bicycle is going to help me again. So get out. Yeah, I'm going to be out there, go for an early morning ride and de-stress, defrag. And that's what's important. You don't need your car causing additional stress and chaos in your life. Amen? Am I the only one who feels that way? Let me know in the comments. Send me an email. motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. Don't forget, Fridays are fun Fridays. We just kind of talk about stuff. And Saturday is 1 hour of Q&A, questions and answers. I pull 3 questions that I like that have come in that I think could serve others as well. And we go through those in detail. So Great questions coming in. Get your questions to me, motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com, and I'll look them over, and it may be your question that I answer this Saturday on Car Connection Workshop Q&A, questions and answers. If there's a specific topic you would like me to address, again, send me an email. You have lots of ways to connect with us now, more ways than ever to be able to engage with us through our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Stevensvilleontheweb.ca. We are put down as a professional there in the automotive category, and thanks to Skippy, that's a website that she put together to bring the businesses of Stevensville and the community together. I like to call it a communal website because that's what it is bringing business and people together. And so you can find me there under the businesses tab, and you can also email me through our profile page there. But I always put contacting information readily available to you in the description of our YouTube videos and our podcasts. And I highly recommend that you read completely the descriptions. I put them together myself, and I purposely put a lot of nuggets in there in the descriptions that will help you a lot more, as well as watching the videos and listening to the podcast. I do that on purpose because if you take those description boxes and created that into a library, you would have quite a few gold nuggets to help you to reduce the stress of owning and operating an automobile. And this time of year is prime time to take advantage of a full-scale vehicle inspection so that you can see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And as I shared already, would I just want to just meander through life like a river between two banks? Yeah, would I want to do that? You got to have lots of money to do that because your vehicle's going to let you down. And it's going to let you down right at the most inappropriate time. Let me tell you, I have had that happen. Pull into the dollar store. I don't know why they call it a dollar store. It always costs me $20 more at the dollar store. I don't know why that is. Anyhow, I pull in to scoot into the dollar store, grab some supplies for the studio here, get back. I get back to the truck, I turn the key, and it's dead. See what I mean? It happens to me too, folks. Not as often as I wouldn't like. Would you like it to happen often or less opportunity for that kind of thing to happen? Well, that's where you have to stay ahead of stuff. You've got to take advantage of the inspections so that you're in the know. And that will relieve a lot of stress. So now I know the condition of the rocket, what needs to be taken care of there, and action is taking place. Now I know I've got to... Oh, the other thing on the rocket is the lifetime warranty muffler looks great on the outside, but there was this annoying noise. I can't even really describe it. It kind of sounded like sand in a beach ball. Does that make sense? You know, you're rattling around, you're shaking around. Yeah. I don't know why sand would get in a beach ball. I don't know how that would happen. But anyways, I can't figure that one out. But that's what it kind of sounded like. A scraping, chuffing kind of sound. Well, I found out what it was. The lifetime muffler looks great on the outside, but it's all cookie crumbs on the inside. So when you give it a nice good shake or hoof it, like I did with my work boot, and kind of push on it and rattle it, it sounds like it's full of cornflakes. So it's the internal organs of the muffler that are falling apart. So we have to deal with that too. So that was the third thing, was the aesthetics, keeping up on the aesthetics. Don't let things slide. You know, you got a rust spot, get it looked after. It's cheaper than buying another car that's unreliable. Trust me. what I'm seeing going on out there when I say the 5-year-old vehicles out there on the domestic lineup, not good. The outcome is not good. There's a very good chance it's going to be chaos, and they just need to fix this stuff. Simple as that. It should not be happening. Not in this day and age with the technology and the engineering. Come on. Let's put this together properly. If other car companies can do it, not saying they all walk on water or anything, every brand, every make, every year, every model has its things, but the less things is better. Am I right? Agreed. A 99 Honda Civic DX that's still alive doesn't give me a whole lot of problems. That's where I'm going with it. How is that possible? It has not been a disaster car by any means. It was loved by the first owner, maintained very well by the first owner, and it's ours to take it from there as the next caregiver and stay on top of things. It has not been a stitch of trouble. 1999. If you wanted to take that to Florida tomorrow, I'd have to get the bumper cover back on and put the grill in. You're on your way. Even with the rattly muffler inside, it's still not going to stop it from driving. You're on your way. This is what I'm talking about. If I can do it, you can do it. We have our car connection, fleet maintenance system all put together for you. The profile page should be up by end of the week. They're just waiting for photographs from me, pictures of the kit, and so that you can see that. Special pricing for those who are subscribed to our YouTube channel versus those who are not. So there's a possibility for an advantage there. I'm just saying. So I hope you have a fabulous Tuesday. Enough said for today. Thank you for letting me chew your ear off a bit. But you know what? I'm in your corner. No matter what, I'm in your corner. If you want to learn and you want to put thousands of dollars back in your pocket and own an older automobile and keep it for 300, 400, 500, 600,000 K miles, it is definitely doable if the foundation of that vehicle is in good shape. It is definitely doable. That's why I like to use some of our vehicles as a great example of when you put the effort in, you become the winner. Because when you learn how to play the car game properly and you know how it works with marketing and the white noise, you can be a winner. Yeah. There's no losers in the Car Connection Workshop. We're all winners. That's right. 30-day fuel saving challenge is coming up. I'm watching radar. Next week, we should be hovering around 60 degrees almost every day. So we're getting close to when we can run that because you know what? That's going to save you guys minimum $100 a month in your pocket. If you're willing to put in the work, the 30-day fuel savings challenge back to back, if you do part 2, you can possibly put another $2,400 in fuel savings in your pocket. Want to play? I know how to do it. You just got to be a participant, not a spectator. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Thank you for tuning in to the Car Connection Workshop. Your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins in the driver's seat. Happy, healthy motoring. Peace, patience, and kindness always. We'll see you at 8 a.m. Make it a great day. Bye for now.